Guys, this podcast is brought to you by our friends over at Wrestling Collector Shop. The next time you're looking to add the newest wrestling figures to your lineup, you've got to go to WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Started by collectors for collectors around the globe, Wrestling Collector Shop has been serving fans the latest and greatest in wrestling action figures since 2002. Whether you're looking for basics, elites, or ultimates, Wrestling Collector Shop should be your first stop the next time you're looking for wrestling figures. So make sure to go to WrestlingCollectorShop.com and use code SWOGGLE to save yourself 10% on your order. Again, that's 10% off with code SWOGGLE only at WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Hey guys, another episode of Going Postl and another small talk. And this week, as you see in the title, it's a little rewind episode. Easily one of my favorite episodes we've ever done, where I got to sit down with my pal Heath. A conversation that went all over the place, as you can only imagine, between the two of us. He's one of my closest pals, because we're as different as we are, we're very, very similar as well, we've realized. But before we go any farther, this show is brought to you by our friends over at Wrestling Collector Shop. Use promo code SWOGGLE and save yourself 10%. ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle, where you can get all of my t-shirts from this pod, from all wrestling ventures and ideas, little inside jokes between me and Landon. All of that. ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle. DylanPostl.com, where you can get all the news, the merch, everything you need right there. DylanPostl.com. SwoggleAuction.com, where I'm right now announcing Saturday. WrestleMania Saturday. I'm not headed to WrestleMania. I'm going to be doing an enormous whatnot stream Saturday of WrestleMania Saturday, but head over to SwoggleAuction.com right now. Get yourself a free $10 credit just for signing up on Whatnot using SwoggleAuction.com. And finally, YouTube.com/DylanPostl unboxings, video diaries, and also the video version of this podcast right here. YouTube.com/DylanPostl. Check it out. Leave a review, leave a like, ring the notification bell. Make sure to subscribe. YouTube.com/DylanPostl. Now, that is enough of my attempt at these ad reads. I think I did okay. So now, before we go to the interview with Heath, we have to do one thing. Ad break. Are you a fan of Disney, Pixar, Jurassic Park, The Office, or even WWE? Or maybe you just want a sleek and comfortable pattern shirt? Then you need to check out Roosevelts.com. RSVLTS.com today. Roosevelts makes the most eye-catching and comfortable shirts going today. Whether it's button-ups, or polos, or hoodies, or even hats, and everything in between, Roosevelts truly has something for everyone. Made for those with the love of sports, pop culture, and so much more. And above all else, having a kick-ass time. This clothing is for the bold and fun, for those who dare mighty things. Roosevelts.com. Check them out.
But yeah, I think it's all right. You can see and hear me now. Hey, why you laughing so much? Are you high?
I'm not. Because I knew what would happen. I knew what would happen. Can you hear me?
I'm about to leave this meeting, man.
Can you hear me?
Of course I hear you.
Okay. I knew what would happen.
Brother, I knew it was going to happen too.
Immediately off the bat. Because
I'm sitting here trying my best to make it good. You're like, I can hear you, but where the hell you at?
We're starting off hot. This is small talk. Heath, So here's the thing.
What's up, baby?
This started as me I did the video diaries because the major pod guys and Ethan Page said, hey, you should just vlog. I hate the term vlog. Video diary is what I do. So then I was like, oh, I'll interview some people because I need other stuff. It started as the guy that knocked me out at Rough and Rowdy, Brad Williams, and Marco Stunt. And I just had Renee on. So you're the second normie. So essentially, we're kind of evening it out here. We're kind of evening out the normies to my people ratio on the show. I love, first off, there is no way that you do more than one Zoom a month, I've realized. Because there's no way you could set this stuff up every time.
Nah, brother. I mean, I've had so many friends wanting me to do podcasts with them, and they want me to, join this and join that. I mean, seriously, though, look, I've got this stuff, but oh shit! But like, it's like a damn floppy penis right now. But I can't. I don't know.
Do you have a laptop? Do you own a laptop?
I do, but like I don't use it. Like I probably need to get a new one because I got it like 6 years ago, and I literally used it. Shit, I don't know, 7 times.
Why?
So yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
does your wife? I feel like your wife is very technology savvy.
Oh, brother, she's great. She knows it all. But she looks at me and like, you idiot. Like, how can you do this? But like with her now, like she's so busy. She's tattooing now, bro. Like she's legit.
Okay.
Dude, she's up in West Virginia with her best friend Casey, that is like a beautiful artist, like when it comes to like painting murals and everything. So then she literally survived breast cancer, kicked its ass, and literally said, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do. And like, I can't make money because no one really wants to buy paintings anymore. So I'm going to just learn to tattoo. Brother, she's killing it. To where Steph always wanted to do it, but never had the guts to do it until her friend opened up a shop. So then it's like, so Steph literally is already 5 tattoos in and looking good, man. Like for her to be a beginner, she's kicking butt.
Was that all? So that was always something that she wanted to do?
Yeah. Like deep down, she's always like wanted to do it, but never jumped on board to try to do it.
The opportunity, because she didn't want to just go into random shop where Jim Smith is running it and have to join the fray.
100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this should be about her and instead of you, because she is way more interesting in the end.
I can get her on the show for you. I got her number. I can get her on for you.
That's what we'll cancel this one.
I don't know if I want to, man. You'll probably ask those questions like 20 years ago. Like, how was he when he was 18?
Woo. That's incredible, too, that I always forget just how long you and Steph have been together.
Oh, like, bro.
That in itself.
High school sweethearts,
awesome. Man. That's crazy. That's
honestly, it is crazy because like you don't ever see that really happening anymore,
Nope.
Like, they try it, but it just, people grow apart.
I mean, in West Virginia, there's 6 people to choose from. So having one work out, the chances are better. But
that's true.
It's still pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
So I was doing research because I'm now a research man. If that's a word. And I realized I thought we're not talking about training or early days or that because it's the same song and dance every time. I literally, whenever developmental comes up, you are the Mount Rushmore. Literally, it's like you. I think about whenever FCW comes out, I think of no one but you, and I feel like everyone does. Because you just had such an impact at FCW, the developmental territory. Like, why do you think that is that everyone kind of puts you and FCW together?
Dr. Tom Pritchard and Steve Kern, Dusty Rhodes. I mean, if it honestly wasn't for them 3 to literally like sit me down and say, hey, man, like, you need to open up. I know there's more inside of there. You're not letting it all out. Like, all your friends talk about you being this man and that man out, out in public type deal, Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to, like,
You couldn't break the shell.
Well, yeah. Well, I was the whole time trying to play a character.
Okay.
To where Dr. Tom then was like, dude, be yourself out there. Feel the music. Do you, like, be you. And I feel like that is what opened me up to be comfortable. And like, just because like I was in pretty much every damn storyline that they had that was, up top. And then it was that I was there for so long also, like I could like.
You were there. Were you day one there?
Day one. Like
you were day one.
Me, Dr. Tom, and Fandango walked into this warehouse where there's canned food everywhere, dust, dirt, just shit. Like literally, we were like, "What? Why did you bring us here?" And he's like, "This is where FCW is going to be." And I'm looking at it like, "There ain't no way! Like, what the hell? Yeah. This is horrible." But next thing you know, it turned into an arena, turned into a lot of future stars moving up. Like I just feel like I was there for day one. And they gave me great opportunities, man. And as a young, hungry, you couldn't tell me not a damn thing because I was going to do it type of man. Like I did it and I just went for it and it rewarded me good.
Was there someone down there in all of your time, like one person you got to pick who you were like, this guy is going to be John Cena, and it didn't work?
Damn, I know there is. And man, I wish you would have briefed me on these questions.
People like always like Alex Riley to me was the one that everyone thought thought was going to be that guy, and it just didn't. Like that. It's kind of crazy how the move up can be awesome for some, and it just doesn't work for some. It's
very true
compared to the following at the developmental.
Definitely Alex Riley was one of them. He was that guy that had the all-American look, the body. He was athletic. He had like charisma. Yeah. Like he had it, but I feel like with him, he just let too much stuff get in his head.
Yep.
Like he couldn't play the mind games stuff to where in wrestling you have to, man. Like it's like people think like, oh, this guy might look good and be good, but there's so much more that comes with it. You know what I mean? Oh, like there's just so much more to come with it. So it's like you got to eat some shit sandwiches sometimes, and then sometimes you have filet mignon, So
that's literally, I'm going to get to it later, but I feel like that describes you and your literally everything you've done to a T. Eat shit sandwiches, because there will be fillets at times.
Yeah,
and that'll make those be even better.
So true.
You're going now. There's NXT, but before, I always love whenever I hear I'm an appearance with you or something. Man, I was the first NXT, and I was like, he's not wrong, because people don't remember, or they don't realize that's what that was. Before Nexus was NXT for
Very true.
3 or 4 seasons. Like I was a random coach of Titus on one. And but how did you guys get approached by that? And how did they pick certain guys?
Brother, they brought us all in the main arena at FCW. And Dr. Tom pretty much
said everyone.
Everyone.
Or just you guys?
It was just the 8.
Okay.
Brought us in. And literally we all were around the ring. And Dr. Tom was like, hey, man, they're coming up with this idea. It's like a new show. It's called NXT, blah, blah, blah. And like he said, like, he explained it the best he could to us because they didn't know what the hell they were doing. I'm being honest. It was like, we got so many good talent down at NXT or, Florida that we want to start a new show or something so they can move up and we can try to mold them and get them ready, So we were guinea pigs, bro. We were straight guinea pigs, but they literally told Dr. Tom, pick the best 8 you think can come up here. Like who you ever think is the best 8 to come up, like character-wise, in-ring wise, all of that. Bring them up. The next thing you know, I was in the bunch. And went shit. It went from Johnny Ace coming to me saying, "Hey kid, Vince hates Sebastian Slater. Like, you got to think of a new name." And he said, "And you look too much like Edge and Shawn Michaels," which I'm like, what the hell? How? But like, looking back now with the long hair, the coat, sometimes the cowboy hat, like, man, I was just being me. But he literally was like, "You got to cut your hair. You got to go to Trunks. I'm just like,
I never realized that I forgot that was why you cut the hair. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Brother, dude, I looked at Johnny Ace that day because me and Johnny, we've always been like, I can tell him how I feel and he won't get mad at me, So I'm just like, damn it, Johnny. I said, the day that you came down to Deep South and saw me and said, "Damn, kid, you're pretty good, this and that. I don't have a long redhead, grow your hair out." I said, "I've been growing it since then. Hey, you're going to tell me to cut it now?"
Look at the Dolph thing. They cut his hair. They cut his hair, dyed it dark, and then goes, "Oh, you look like Randy now." Well, no shit,
right? Brother, like, as soon as they told me that, I told him, I said, "I'm not cutting it above my shoulders." I said, "I'm gonna leave it here." And he was like,
I remember there was a time where it was like a female bob cut for a good amount of time. The Dutch boy haircut.
Brother, that soccer mom haircut, dude. It was so bad. And it's true. And there's this one card, brother, I'm gonna show you this. Look at this shit. There's this card. I don't know. Can you see it right there?
Oh, so your first figure is on the left. The Elite is very Bob Dutch boy haircut.
Oh, brother, look at that. Like, it's beautiful on me, right? But no, you are so right, man. It literally looked like a mom's bob.
Yeah.
To where like, and then like Cena wants to call me Wendy's because like I had to straighten my hair in the back because it would flip out if I didn't. So like here I am straightening my hair, never straighten my hair. I didn't know how to straighten my hair.
Again, we go to technology. You definitely had like how you didn't burn your hair is beyond me.
I did though, man. I was now burnt hair. I'm like, damn, I'm leaving it on too long. Man. No one's helping me.
Jan, makeup Jan is just looking at you side-eyed too. She's not gonna help you. She's gonna let it happen.
Oh, 100%. She ain't gonna help me. But yeah, it's just one of those things where like I had the bob, but then again, he told me cut my hair, change everything about me. And then we had to go up there and be guinea pigs on this game show they would have us do obstacle courses.
I remember it was literally every week. Like you said, there was no plan. I truly feel there was zero plan and zero idea of what that was supposed to be. It was just, hey, we have 8 guys. We have to fill an hour of television.
That's 100% what that was. It made no sense. But
I remember ribbing Ryback every week about the eating contest.
All the time.
Week. We're
having a hot dog eating contest today, boys. The writers told me.
And he wouldn't eat. He wouldn't eat all day. All day he wouldn't eat.
And then they say, he's going in and we got to cut a promo or we got to do an obstacle course or a keg challenge or something, Like, what the hell?
But it's, I feel like also, so Daniel Bryan was on that. And I feel like the target was immediately put on him to an extent hey, he can wrestle really, really well. Really well.
Yeah.
But what else? And now we're going to target that. What else?
I believe it too.
Make an ass out of it. And because so many things about that were just focused around not his wrestling.
100%.
And that
they literally tried because they, like you said, they knew he can wrestle. I mean, hell, he's one of the best out there.
Yep.
But they try to get him most uncomfortable. Trying to they put him with they put him with the Bellas, and they're like having this like war off, and then he marries Brie later. So that might work out.
I mean, it worked out in the end for that. That relationship worked out in the end. But
no, they threw him, man, through like rough waters to where you're just like, damn, come on, man, let him be.
then we go. So the NXT is going, and they're doing the contests and the random matches and the promos on off the cuff. Like immediately, you guys do nothing, which is cool, but also, if you don't want a failure on your show, you can't do that. You got to give some bit of idea of what's going to happen.
Yes.
Otherwise, they're going to look like a failure.
Yes.
That's just how it goes. But it leads to probably, it has to be the biggest night of your life. The biggest night. That guy right there. Yeah. And I think I remember I was riding with you and Gabriel that weekend.
Yeah.
I think I was riding with you two that weekend, or at least from the arena back to the hotel that night. Yeah. But I remember it happening, and I was like, man, because no one knew. Nobody. And how long in advance were you guys? Was that a day of?
Day of, man. Yeah. Like literally, we all were off NXT. Like everyone, you know, the shit happened.
Yep.
And then that Raw was in Miami.
Yep.
And I remember we all just drove down from Tampa because they said, hey, we want all of y'all to come down. And we didn't know what was happening, man. We thought we were going to go back to FCW and do the same bullshit. So as soon as we get down there, man, that's when we walked into the office, or not. When we got there, we just hanging out doing the bullshit. Johnny said that
I was with you because I rode down from your place because we hung out with Steph. That's when I met Steph for the first time.
That is,
yes,
you're right,
100%.
You're damn right.
Yep.
And so once we got there doing your bullshit, literally like 5 p.m. or something, they brought us all into Vince's office, and literally that's when he just spilled the beans, talking about like, hey guys, I got this idea. I want y'all to be like, wolves on meat. I just want you to be like piranhas in the water. I want you to destroy everything, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. He started like handing out those bands to all of us, and we're just sitting there like, what the hell is really going on? And Vince pretty much at the end said, whatever you do, don't hit a fan and don't touch your cameras. Everything else is free range. So we're just like, shit, okay. So then we leave.
You're giving kids a full playground there. Literally letting you guys be children and just tear shit up.
Yeah. The whole thing in our head, we're thinking like, we want to be different from that NWO vibe. Because NWO was already over dudes that came in and they became amazing. Us, we were just these mistreated kids that became rebels and pushed against the grid, and just when Vince literally said just destroy everything, like all of our minds are going crazy, this and that. And of course Laurinaitis, Arn, Dean, Michael Hayes, and all of them like, yeah man, take the ropes off, rip the ring up, destroy everything, this and that. And we're just like, okay, yeah, we will, definitely, and we were nervous as shit because like we didn't really know. And then once you got in the moment and you felt the energy from the people and you just started going, man, it was just like, holy shit, watch the hell out. Don't get in these guys' way. It was just a very, very good moment.
That 30 seconds of just the camera shots going between you guys and closing on the ring is one of the coolest things they've ever produced, like made happen on live television, because it was it was different and different isn't always good, but different is always different. And that was so good for that because it made 100%. A moment. Was there going through with Cena and Punk was involved in that too? Was there going through with them?
No. Like Cena came and talked to us.
Okay.
Because it was like with Punk, it was like get him out, lay out Gallows. He's down.
Oh, I forgot Gallows was out there too. That's right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It was the society thing that they were doing. Or whatever.
Straight edge society. Yeah.
There we go. So Punk literally was just hit out. Gallows beat down, and then Ryback got on Gallows, and all I heard Gallows saying is like, "Dude, lighten up, shit."
I can see Gallows taking one from Ryback and literally somehow disappearing from ringside, and he's already in his car by the time the segment's over.
That's a fact. He probably was. Actually. He probably was. He's headed to Orlando for SmackDown.
Yep.
But no, Cena literally talked to us, and he was like, I'm going to talk to you guys out there. And what's funny is that whenever we're jumping up on the ring and everything, you can hear Cena because he's loud as shit. Yep. He can be like, wait. We're like, we know, motherfucker, we don't but you can hear him, we're just like, you don't give it away, stop. But it was one of those moments to where, like, when it did happen, everything, of course, Cena came to us and was like, guys, listen, I know this is a big moment. Please don't kill me, but I'm going to fight back this and that. Like, he was cool, so cool about it. And honestly, I feel like all the way to SummerSlam, Cena was on her side until SummerSlam. And then that's when he was like, no, man, they can't beat me.
I can't.
I'm Super Cena.
Yeah, it's one of those things where that was the cool. I mean, every week you did it with Cena and Punk. You did it with Vince and Taker. And literally every week it was such a cool, oh, shit.
Little build. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was like when I look back at it, even if like you take me out, I'm not even in this shit. Like, that was such a cool moment for wrestling fans, like just these crazy young kids are kicking everyone's ass and they're taking names while they do it. And
the live crowd, the live crowd never knew when it was happening. So they were on their feet. That was the cool moment for a live fan too. And not just the fans at home.
100%. And what got me is that I never really had people cry. Like legit cry. And I'm looking at some of these people and they're crying. And I'm just like, oh God. Like, I just want to hold him and be like, hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah.
But then when we're walking back, man, we got sodas thrown at us and like food, popcorn and stuff to where like they're just bouncing off of us and just going everywhere. I wish they got more footage of that because they didn't show half of what it was when we exit because
that's just it. It was the closing shot of you guys standing tall in the ring and then cut. I wish they did more of the leaving. So it's not just that same freeze frame every close.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but no, that 100% was like you guys are in WWE.
You felt it. Did you when you were sitting down talking about it, did you believe it was going to be as big, or did it blow everything out of expectation?
It blew everything out of expectation, being honest. It's one of those things that, when it's on paper, it can sound amazing. Yeah. But sometimes on paper and then live crowd, that shit doesn't work out.
Yeah.
That's just happen.
Yeah, if they're receptive to it, it's a fart in church, or just doesn't.
It would have just been a bust. Yeah. But it was one of those things where we were.
It would have been FCW,
huh?
It would have been FCW for sure if it would have been.
Oh, that's a fact. We would have.
Yeah,
we would have whipped back there, and they probably would have fired half of us.
Yep.
And then kept the couple that they think they may have a future. I mean, how this shit goes.
Yeah.
But no, it was literally like we were all nervous, man. We were 7 years old, like 27, 26. I don't remember. Like, we were kids and getting in this spot to where we're like, we can't mess this up or we're done, like it was just one of those moments. But I feel like we were excited, scared more than thinking about what's going to be the outcome. Yep. We were just like, we got to get this done. Hopefully people will react to it and let's see what tomorrow brings.
So that night, excuse me. So that night, Bryan, the infamous Daniel Bryan tie incident, a couple weeks later, Ryback goes down, right?
Well, it was a little after SummerSlam when Ryback went down.
It was. Okay, so he made it to SummerSlam.
He made it to SummerSlam. And then after SummerSlam, that's when we had the Hawaii-Japan loop.
That's what it was. Okay, yes. Do you feel that, I was thinking about this as I was looking up stuff, Bryan in that group, with what you guys were doing, it didn't see, it's almost him getting released and the comeback at SummerSlam and all that almost was such a invigoration for him that I don't know if it would have felt the same in that group.
I'm totally with you on that because I look at it as Daniel, like he was that lovable guy that everyone wanted to win. Like he was the guy that all the indie darlings was like, heck yeah, Daniel Bryan's up there. Woo, Bryan Danielson, woo, you know. So WWE, I think, knew that. And then that's why they shit on him. You know, I mean, he had the worst record when I had the best record. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
That's a crazy thing.
It is. So it's like, it's one of those things I feel like he was just doomed from the start just because of what the higher ups thought, you know. But Vince never said, do not choke a dude with the tie. He never said anything of the sort, to where I feel like with Daniel doing that was amazing. Like it felt like, holy crap, like this dude's like, and what's funny is that when he had Justin Roberts like that, I'm looking at Justin Roberts and smacking him in the face, you know? So it's like, it's one of those things to where like we should have both got fired then, you know? Like he's choking him, I'm smacking him, calling him a bitch, you know? So it's
it's such a, again, with that whole thing, it's such a moment that you remember about that segment happening. You fully remember about that segment happening.
100%. But what got me was when they gave us the verbiage whenever they did release Daniel, which is all bullshit, total bullshit. When they did release Daniel, like Wade was overseas because his visa, and then they had me leading the pack, you know, to go against all the legends and stuff. But the night after, like all that happened, or the following week, they said that we kicked out Daniel Bryan because he wasn't ruthless enough. And I'm sitting there like, that makes no sense. He's the most ruthless one we had out there.
You mean the one choking someone with their own tie isn't ruthless enough?
Exactly. Yeah, he's not that ruthless. I mean, come on. So it just didn't make sense a little bit, you know, to where you're like, dude, we could have came up with something better than that, you know? But no, I feel like with Daniel, it was a good thing for him because he made it big with WWE. He got a spotlight with Nexus. He went back on the indies where they're throwing ties in the ring at him, which was really cool for him. Then he comes back and he's a part of the team that beat us. You know, for Daniel, great. You know, it was good for him. But like,
and it really sets him off.
Guys,
and it really sets him off even more on that comeback.
Yeah. That put him on another little level there, you know? Like, he ain't here. He's here now. So it was just like, I feel like for Daniel, it worked out good for him.
You guys, it was a bit of a blemish.
Brother, it was a smack in the damn face. It really was. I mean,
you're right.
He showed up in LA
100%.
at the Staples Center, and they're literally like, yeah, Nexus, y'all's going over. Wade, Gabriel, and Heath, y'all are the three last standing. We're going to bring the Nexus boys down. Glory shot you guys over Cena. Hell yeah. Let's build up to WrestleMania. Bring in the Brothers of Destruction, Big Show, Cena, damn Hulk Hogan, who cares? Then y'all beat our ass. You know, this is going to be great. Brother, literally the show started. We had another meeting and I'm eliminated. Gabriel's eliminated. Wade's eliminated. Cena's the only one standing. Yeah. And Jericho and Edge was mad as shit. So mad because they came up with the whole match. They put it all together and we agreed. Everyone agreed on it. Yeah. And the next thing you know, I don't know, 3.5 hours before we go live, it all changes.
Yeah. And that's, man, that's such a shame when those changes happen as they do there last second. And suddenly, you know, not just time, but full ideas getting cut and full the story behind things just forgotten about. I realized one thing too. You are definitely, I think you've been involved in the most groups of anyone. You have been in every faction known to man, and it's Nexus, Core, Social Outcasts, 3MB. I'm calling Rhino his own faction. Just because
Slater Gator.
Jesus, Slater Gator. I forgot about that.
You were a Gator.
I was a Gator. I forgot. But you have been in literally everything, and it's just I push that on that you are just you and Gallows. I really believe are just always wanted around because you're both of you are such balls of energy and positivity. And I think everyone sees that no matter where you go, what writers you're around or producers or higher ups, they see that. And you always had a niche in things. It was always almost like stuff with me where it was, okay, we need something for the cruiserweight title. Fucking Hornswoggle. Hey, we need Vince's son. Fucking Hornswoggle. Yeah. It was like, Heath, we need an extra body. Heath's here and he's a good hand. Give it to him. Carrying like literally the legend stuff for so long. And with the ultimate payoff at that huge episode of Raw with all of them. And I remember every week they would do something. And I remember sitting in the locker room, man, I got to beat these guys one time. And I just looking at you and going, it's not happening, Heath. Every week, man, I got you. Next week, I'm going right in that office. I got to beat one of these legends. I keep fucking losing. I said, Heath, it's not going to happen. Sure as shit. Next week, you lost again. But
hey, I did get one, though.
Who did you beat? I got
one. I beat Doink. And then DDP came and ruined my surprise.
Okay. But it's stuff like that really stands out to me of, we talk about Hawkins, we laugh because Vince referred to him as a good hand. Man, that's Kurt Hawkins, such a good hand. But that's you in a nutshell, is you were never nope, not going to work for me. Because that's just not your personality.
No.
And that's just how you are.
Hey, it's one of those things where, like, I always tell people, how, like, in wrestling, people wants to be that big, great white shark, the lion, the tiger, or the bear. I tell everyone, man, I'm just a damn chameleon. I blend into this shit. I make it work. I mean, literally, in my career with WWE, man, like with Impact now, I'm doing stuff that they'll actually listen and like say, hey, Heath, I can see you doing this. Let's do it. It'd be fun, which I have some say. But in WWE, you sign a contract, you get a script. That's what you have to do pretty much. I went from a rookie to a rebel to a watered down rebel to a one-man band to a guy with a band to a social outcast where I didn't want to have nothing to do with anyone to a damn dude with 35 damn kids living in a damn trailer park. Like what the hell?
I have it in my notes. I got kids. Follows you everywhere now. I feel like it's Nexus, the Nexus night, and I got kids are 1 and 2, A and B. And True. I got kids where? When, where, how, why? Where did that come from?
Straight brain fart, man. 100% brain fart. I'm telling you, I had that promo with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. And next thing you know, they gave me a script that was like 5 pages long to where I'm like, there ain't no way I'm remembering this shit. That ain't going to happen, So Paul came to me and was like, hey, man, did you look over the script this now? I was like, yeah. And he was like, I got my stuff, and like we talked over lines a little bit. And Paul's cool. He's like, man, you don't have to say the right thing. Just go with it, try to remember as much as you can. Good. So come down, back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth. Next thing you know, I said my line, and I'm like, shit, what's next? I'm like thinking, like, what's my next line? I don't even know my next line, And what's crazy is that Paul spit, whatever the line was, and I'm like, it'll come back. The damn shit never came back, man. And next thing you know, I was just like, you know what? Everyone knows that I'm going to get my butt kicked by Brock, but I have to do this. Damn it. I've got kids. I need this job. Like it just came out. And then that's when Brock literally like grabbed the mic and like give a shit about it. But he had a line, but it wasn't nothing like his line was literally like, don't piss me off, get out of this ring. That was it. Next thing you know, he grabs his mic, he's like, you know what, step up in here. I got kids too. And I'm like,
I don't give a shit about your kids. Yeah.
And then that's when he said drop the line to where I'm like, ooh, I want to hit you right now. Like it'll give me a huge pop. But that wasn't in the script, My script was, oh, it's okay, turn around, and then he kills me. Yeah. Which would have been better if I would have been like, what? And then he kills me. You know, like shit.
Yeah.
But like, dude, it was one of those brain farts to where I had too much shit to remember.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah. Bro, and it just came out. Like, it literally was like, I had to take my pistols out and start shooting for real.
That's even better because I could see you having a brain fart and literally going, oh no, I got to say something. I have to say something, and I can't just stand here, digging my hand. I got to do something.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Dude, that is exactly how all that got started. And then when I got to the back, I guess Vince thought the whole I got kids, I need this job was great. And then the whole storyline was like, they're about to split these brands up, Raw and SmackDown. Yep. And then I became like that free agent to where I'm like bouncing back and forth.
Didn't they forget to draft you?
No, that was JBL.
Okay.
Man. He hooked me up. Yeah. JBL legit went in there, was like, what if someone doesn't get drafted? And Vince is like, who are you thinking about? Slater? Like, and JBL said, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. Next thing you know, Vince was like, oh, I love it. And what's funny is that JBL smartens me up, and I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean I ain't getting drafted? Yeah. He was like, think about it. Is anyone going to remember who got drafted first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, 19, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, He's like, or are they going to remember who didn't get drafted?
Yeah.
I said, dang, okay. He was like, it's all to what you do after this.
Yep.
So next thing you know, I went and pitched the whole free agent. Let me go to Raw and SmackDown. Let me battle for Stephanie and Shane. And the whole deal was I'm pitching for that IC title. And I was wanting me and Miz to do Hillbilly versus Hollywood. Like he goes on some of my trips. I go on like an MVP Matt Hardy thing.
Yep.
But it ends up me getting the title to where I'm like, yes, I said, let me lose it next week on Raw. I don't care, but let me get it,
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, Vince was all for it. And then I became tagging with Rhino being the first ever SmackDown Live.
Which that was such a random pairing that everyone looked at as like, this is very odd. But it was an instant connection because it was so random.
Very true.
Seeing you guys together, like now, you guys are, it's literally just buddies. And because of that, because of that random thrown together pairing, which it's awesome.
As much as I want that IC title, that's the only title I've ever wanted in all of WWE. The world title has too much publicity and everything. Like, I don't want to do it. Give me the IC title. But I got a damn best friend out of life for it, So that right there beats it all.
So going back before the Rhino thing, we glanced over a certain day, probably the third biggest day in your career, where you go in your career, the third biggest day in your career, where you go to Abu Dhabi, where you go to where are you traveling that lets me be a part of your faction and join you? Where were you? Where were the third biggest day? You get little Dylan on your side. You talking about
the story where you took my damn time?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Where we realized two things: one, you didn't really need that gear anyways, and two, we have the exact same waist size.
Very true. Very true.
That's what we realized with you being away. Where were you again? It wasn't Abu Dhabi.
Literally, I was overseas. I forget where I was.
I can't remember where, but
they had events in the States, and then they sent some people overseas. So they sent me overseas and left Drew and Jinder in the States.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, they came up with this great idea to add you as the fourth member to 3-on-B.
Because they booked a 6-man every week. They booked a 6-man on SmackDown. Like they did every week with you guys in the Matadors, because it was the only trios they had.
100%.
And then they realized, oh no, it's Heath and Sami Zayn overseas right now.
We were in Saudi Arabia.
That's what it was. It was Saudi Arabia.
That's Saudi the first time.
Yes. And then Road Dogg knew all I wanted to do was work with Torito. He knew it. So Road Dogg in the meeting said, hey, let's just have Hornswoggle join him. And I was like, he goes, hey man, this is your shot. Here we go. And I immediately go, what the fuck am I going to wear? It was like, what?
You should have went the Hot Topic.
100%. Thinking about it now, I 100% could have got some kind of rock pants. But
100%.
Road Dogg brought me to the seamstresses, and they go, "Hey, we need 3MB gear for Hornswoggle tonight." And she goes, Terry goes, "That can't happen. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon." And so she goes, "I have Heath's pants." And Drew was walking by at that time, and he goes, "Yep, that'll work." It was perfect because then,
damn it, Drew,
we cut the pants and we hemmed them. And he took a picture and sent it to you of me in the pants because obviously you had no idea what was going on.
No clue.
And they were the only pants I wore forever. Yeah. They were the best.
You know what's funny is that I literally sat down with Julie. I literally sat down with her. I was like, "Hey, I like this. I like that. I want this like this." Like I had like say in it instead of saying, "Hey, make me some rock and roll pants," you know? So I had say in those tights to where I'm like, "Man, I like these." And the next thing you know, I get a picture of them and you're in them. I'm like, "What the hell is that? Like, did they make Swoggle a pair too?" And then next thing you know, he's like, "Nah, bro, these were yours, but Swoggle needed them." I'm like, "What the hell?" But dude, hell of a story. But I still wish I had.
It couldn't have worked out better. It couldn't have worked out better, actually. Which leads us to WeLC, which is literally the biggest thing I'll ever do. And
brother, you killed it, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I appreciate that.
You know, I tell you all the time, you two damn killed that shit. And what makes me so proud about it is that, of course, we all had little key parts, you know, whatever. But the main goal with you two, you guys delivered because everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, let's go see this. Let's see how this is going to be." Brother, blew it out the water to where everyone was clapping when y'all came back. Everyone's like, "Holy crap, we didn't expect this. How in the world did we put this on the pre-show? We're so stupid."
My favorite is us sitting down, and I remember like it was yesterday. We're all sitting down day of because we all had to get to the arena real early that day to talk about what we're going to do. And Drew's like, "Guys, I think I want to flip through a table on the outside." and Heath always has the blinking eye emoji at least 4 or 5 times a day. And this was, "Drew, nothing?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'll just flip over the ropes to the outside through a table."
Yeah.
And it happened. And like everyone had the idea and the plan in mind of almost a fuck you
for
putting us on the pre-show. And we're going to do anything we can to make it shove up your ass. Like that's exactly everyone did. The Matadors did. All 3 of you guys did. Like it was crazy how everything built and insane bumps by everyone. Like everyone through the ladders. When Torito does the spot to the outside onto the ladders and the ladder flips up onto him. It's this is a full size like 12-foot ladder falling on this little human.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Bro. I would tell everyone if they want to see true entertainment that delivers, watch that damn match, man.
And it was exactly what you said. We all got to the back, and it was like, "Oh, I've never gotten one. I've heard of these reactions from the gorilla, but I've never gotten one. This is the craziest thing. I'm usually used to the Vince, the finger, or go talk when the producer, you get through the curtain, the producer says, 'Hey, you have to go talk to Vince,' and it's that awkward waiting of not wanting to bug him, but also, hey, I know I'm in trouble. But getting that response after.
It was great. And it was honestly like that's a proud 3-on-B moment for all of us too, man. That match right there was just like a holy hell, these guys all might be a comedic elite relief, you know, like ha. But when you put them in a situation where they have to go, they deliver. You know, like that to me still is one of the best moments with 3-on-B.
It was so much fun. And then we do Payback with the mask versus hair. And then literally like a week or 2 after, I remember waking up to a text from you. "Hey man, what are we going to do?" Because Jinder and Drew got released out of nowhere. Literally out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we were literally on the show the week before. all together, and it was like out of nowhere they get released, and it was.
Yeah. Hey, this was even before they came up with the app, and we had like 3 months of calendars that they print off and give you every damn week, to where we're booked on everything.
All the tours, every tour, it was us four against them three, every tour.
Yes, every tour. But it was it came out of nowhere.
So then immediately, here's Titus into the fray because we don't have someone. Or I remember they gave us Tyson Kidd a couple times too on house shows, me, you, and Tyson.
Yeah.
And it was just odd. It was odd. Not the same.
I mean, dude, all of our styles are so damn different. It's totally different.
You had such comfortability with Drew and Jinder from day one, I feel. Oh, yeah. And then it was like a Band-Aid. It wasn't the same.
No. So, like I was lost. Like I remember I was doing cardio and Drew calls me and tells me, and I'm like, what the hell? And we talked maybe 5 minutes. Yep. He gets off the phone. Jinder calls me. He tells me. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, now you, like, hold on, man. I literally was like, hey, I heard from Drew. He told me, and he said, yeah, they talked. And I was like, hey, let me just call you back, man, because I'm probably going to get it now. I waited. Yeah. I waited for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Heard nothing, to where I got so antsy, I called Karana.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, man, like, what's up? Like, am I getting released or what's happening? And he was like, no, man, you're safe. And I said, what the hell? Like, what now? He was like, I don't know, but you're safe. And then that's whenever I just sat back, started thinking about it, and I text you, and I'm like,
yeah, what are we going
to do?
Yeah, what are we going to do? We're booked on everything. Literally, like we said, every tour, everything we were on.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I wish I would do. I keep my mouth shut more in these promos instead of like spitting shit out. Because we had, like, I remember I had a promo it was when Brandy Rhodes was up there, and Titus was coming into the fray. And next thing you know, we're having this promo where he's like, yeah, this partner. And I'm like, yeah, I lost my friends, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, I just was like, man, we could be like Slater Gator, blah, blah, blah. I just threw it out there like an idiot because he went to Florida and my last name Slater. And then Vince was like, oh, I like that. And then next thing you know, you're in a gator costume. And me and
Do you remember they tried to get me to wrestle in that on house shows?
Oh,
the first loop of house shows, they're like, Arn, well, kid, I guess you got to wrestle in it. And I said, Arn, I'll do it tonight, but I'll show you that it's not going to work. Like,
yeah, man,
this isn't going to work at all. And it
was a legit Party City alligator costume.
Yes, I can't wrestle in this. I can't run the ropes in a gator costume or the mouth is in front of my face. Yeah.
Brother, it would always flop down and you would always be pulling that thing up. Yeah.
So then we fast forward again to we were talking about firings, and then what would be my release, but right before it was in March in Green Bay, where I was like, man, I haven't been on TV for a year. This was a year and a half I wasn't on TV. Wasn't on the road for a year. And it's like, but I texted Road Dogg. I said, hey, man, my son's going to be there tonight. I would love if I could have the dark match. I would love it. Well, who are you going to wrestle? And I was like, fuck. I wonder I literally said, I wonder if Heath's booked. I texted Road Dogg. I said, is Heath booked? He goes, as of now, he doesn't have anything. So I texted you, hey, man, if I can get this to happen, would you do it? Immediate yes. And we had literally... It was my last match in WWE at the time. And it was so special to me because then, unbeknownst to me, Dolph set it up with Johnny and with the ringside security to have Landon come in the ring afterwards. And it's like, I had no idea of any of that, literally any of that. And I turn around and my son's in the ring and it's like, what are you doing in here? But it was such a...
Brothers, that hug, like, I still remember when you won, I rolled out just to give you your time. Like, dude, shine. Like, get up on those top ropes and do your shit. I'm getting chills, man. I feel it on my knees because I got kids, man. Like, it's one of those moments I want to that I haven't had yet, I remember walking up the ramp just watching because I didn't want to miss it. And I remember you were like looking off, I think maybe hard cam side, but he came in from the other side. And when you turned around, y'all were there. And like you did one of those like step back.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I'm watching the whole time. I'm just watching. And then like I'm gonna tear up on this shit. I'm getting sensitive because of my old age. But dude, that hug that y'all had to where I'm just like, oh, I said, this makes everything. This is literally this is the best. It was just a great moment.
I was so glad looking back that was my last match there. Yeah. Like, because you can't get bigger than that. My dad's in the front row with my son. My son gets in the ring in my hometown. Like, this is crazy. Wrestling one of my best friends. Like, this is awesome. Like, awesome. And then TJ took a picture of the monitor of Landon and I hugging, and it's like, again, just buddies. And I get to the back, and like, I remember walking with Landon up the ramp, and I go, "Hey, bud, you gonna come to the back?" He goes, "No, I want to go watch the show." I go, "Awesome, great, thanks." Right. I get to the back, and the first person that meets me is Ziggler, and I go, "You son of a bitch!" He goes, "I had to do it. I knew you wouldn't." And I said but that's a friend. That's literally a friend right there.
100% buddy.
That's just awesome. So then do you have video footage of all that though? Yes. And good. I promise you, I've said it for 7 years now. I'm going to get it. But I need a VCR, which I know you still have for sure in your household.
I really do.
I knew it. I know you definitely have tons of DVD players too, still to this day.
I do. I'm not kidding one bit. I have the DVD, VHS, where you can tape the VHS onto a DVD.
You're the best. You're my favorite human. Well, then it's COVID hits, and everyone, all of my buddies get released. It seems.
That first tree that fell, woo!
Incredible.
You could have started a company with all those people.
So many guys and girls. So many. Looking back at it, we never saw a massive release like that. Like kind of like out of nowhere. And but you have made such I was gonna say impact, but that's where I was going. Where you immediately, like a few of the others, go to Impact Wrestling, make a new niche for yourself, and just having a blast. It seems where immediately your first match is with Moose for the title. Like, that doesn't happen. Did you have connections and a lot of people there that reached out immediately to you? Brother, it was 100% the Good Brothers and Rhino. That was the first. As soon as the release happened, it was. I probably waited. Like, when I got released, I got mad. Like, I was just like, "You go release me after doing everything you ever told me for 15 years. Y'all can kiss my ass, man." Like, and then I started working out even harder. Like, I mean, I never was a body guy. I never was. You know, I relied on my wrestling skills and charisma, man. That's all I relied on. But then I started being like, you know what? I'm gonna get bigger. I'm gonna get in shape. I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna be doing that. And then next thing you know, Rhino's reaching out. The Good Brothers are reaching out. They get me in contact with D'Amore. Me and D'Amore's talking. But during that, like, I was talking with Cody too at AEW. And then there's this dude from Rocky Romero over in New Japan. We were chit-chatting, just bullshitting this and that. But it was like AEW had the WWE schedule where you're gone all the time. And I'm like, man, I did that for so long. Like, yes, it's great, this and that. But, like, I just want to breathe a little bit now, like, work on myself. Because, like, my last few years in WWE, man, like, it was not the best years for me. Like, not as a wrestler, but as a person mentally. Yes, like, for me and my life, like, I was drinking every damn day. And when I say every damn day, like, it was just a toxic environment for me. Like, and I allowed it to happen because I was, upset, mad, whatever it was, so it was like, once they fired me, like, I straightened my act up and was like, man, screw this shit. Like, I'm going to get in shape, this and that.
went to Impact, which they were great with me. It's like I have my cake and eat it too there. Like I get paid good and I get to do whatever the hell I want. So it's like, hell yeah, let's do that. And then I got hurt,
So that's the next thing is that day is my favorite for two reasons. That's the day of the infamous Ponderosa.
That's very true.
Where
Ponderosa.
Where me and you and Hawkins, was he in the car?
He might have been.
But either way, Deanna Peru. I can't even say it either. But Deanna.
Peraza.
That's it. Neither of us can. But
Ponderosa.
And one of my favorite Heathisms is Heath messes up a lot of words, which I love
all the time
because it just brightens my day. Because
I came from West Virginia, man.
Man, that's that damn Ponderosa over there. And I remember stopping and going, what? Yeah, Ponderosa. And I go, Heath, that's not her name. Oh. And then it was what now follows whenever you realize what you're doing, that you're doing a Heathism. Oh, I did it again. It just follows it every time. Oh man, I did it again. And it's every time.
It is true. You're damn right.
We go through that taping. Those days were so long, the COVID taping, with no crowd and
nothing.
Brutal. But then
practice matches, like backyard matches.
Yes. For literally, they're camp matches. And Heath has a battle royal, and he is going to win said battle royal. And
gonna go over.
If you know Heath like we do, Heath loves to win. Heath's favorite thing in the world is winning, because it didn't happen much. So Heath loves to win. So
when it does, champagne bottles popping.
He was gonna win this battle royal. It was planned. It was booked.
Yeah, it was.
Hurt on, was it the crescent kick?
Brother, this is what happened. This is what I remember in my mind.
There's a few stories out there of how exactly the hurt.
This is exactly what happened, bro. My music hit, and I'm literally coming out like I'm kicking everyone's ass. I got a hell of a spot, and I'm gonna look like
you're gonna win
right now. Hit my music. Brother, I literally slid in that damn ring. I ducked Myers' clothesline and hit my neck breaker. And literally it felt like someone stabbed me with a sword. And I'm just like, oh God. So I get up, and when I get up, I'm hunched over, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Is this a cramp? What is happening? I hit my leg lariat, and I feel like it hit the top rope, and it jerked something. And then I just fell to my damn face, and I'm just sitting there the whole time I'm doing this. Body, what are you doing? Get the fuck up. What are you doing here? And then I get up, and then after that, I think me and Ace Romero trades, and then I have to line his ass over the top rope. And then I'm just dying and crumbling. The whole time I'm trying to just straighten up, but my body's like, no, you're going down, And
I remember watching it.
I was cussing myself.
Yeah.
I was cussing myself. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get your shit together, man. You haven't even had a drink today. What are you doing? And then next thing you know, I could not function, So I'm calling an audible to these refs. Bro, tell Rhino he has to go over. I'm throwing audibles. Next thing you know, the refs are running over to Rhino. And I remember Sammy Callahan was choking him. And I remember as soon as the ref told him, they both did one of these. All I see is this. I just see this. What the fuck, And then there's James Storm, Hey, man, you all right, man? You doing all right? I'm like, dude, fucking come on, I can't move
as hard as you can.
Yeah. Dude, it was horrible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing about that is? 3 hours before the damn pay-per-view even started.
Yeah.
I signed the contract.
Yep.
To be with Impact for 2 years.
I remember that.
I signed it 3 hours before the pay-per-view started. And then I go in there, I get hurt, and I'm out for damn 11 months.
Man, it was the longest injury ever, literally ever. And I just remember watching it in back, and we could see you just like hunched in the corner, just like quivering, cussing yourself, quivering, and then like you almost try to stand up, and no, man, no,
bro. Oh, bro, I was done. I was
Looking
a wounded
back on
soldier.
It like watching it, you felt so bad, but you couldn't help but pop because you could see yourself. Man, fuck you, body. You got to get up.
Bro, I promise you I was the whole time. You piece of shit, body, get up. What the hell's wrong with you, man? This is your time to shine. Everyone's going to think you're over.
The final thing that I'm going to get into, and then we'll wrap it up, is you have become a star outside of wrestling in the major pod world. This has fully I feel like it's done.
You
for
see
me.
that? You see that?
Oh, I knew he'd have it by him.
You see this?
I was gonna ask if it's above your mantle, but it being on your
I got the bag too.
It never goes, man. It's never in the bag at your house, though. It's always out just in case. Man, someone might walk in here. Then they gotta know I'm the FWF Interstate Champion. It's all
they do. That shit get popular.
I feel like the love of you in that community, like me, has been like another rejuvenation, and it's just fun. That whole community itself is so much fun, and they have really just brought you in as not even a side character, but a main character of just Heath. Like, it's not of Heath Slater or Heath on Impact. It's just you, like they do me. And it's the coolest community out there.
Brother, I'm not going to lie to you. I remember the first, when we all got fired.
Yeah.
And Matt and Myers literally was just like, hey, man, here, get on our Facebook behind the scenes thing, whatever it was, and just talk to some of these fans and sell some of your shit, all this and that. Brother, I had no clue how, cool these fans were. Like, I didn't even know. Like, I was just, I live inside my bubble, man. And it's not a big bubble, but I live inside my bubble. But, once I got in there and started, talking with them and selling some stuff and getting to know some of these people to where I'm just like, holy crap, there's a big following.
True supporters and true supporters,
true fans.
Yeah.
And then with their, their website, their podcast, their everything that they're doing, their toy, their vlogs, everything. Yep. And then, me, we all hang out. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'll go to this damn toy store with you, whatever. And then I look at some toys, I'm like, man, that's pretty damn cool, man. And
pretty damn cool, man. Johnny Garbanzo.
Pick up on that, I have a shirt
who is this tomato Ciampa guy?
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe because I, messed up a lot of names,
and that's
I don't
another
know
thing.
Anyone.
I feel like that's another instant. I did it again, didn't I? I did it again.
It's a fact. I did it again, didn't I?
That's awesome. Well, man, thank you. Thank you very much for hanging out. This is literally when COVID happened, and now we're out of that world. But this is how people hung out. I realized, and it's fact. It's awesome. It's still awesome because, hey, we can hang out and not even be near each other. So thank you very, very much. What are we plugging? Heath, what do you have going on besides the probably more yellow mitten training that I see him hanging behind you?
See my golden gloves?
I see your yellow mittens hanging behind you. I get it. We get it.
Hell yeah.
What are we plugging?
Rocky up there too, you see?
Jesus. You definitely got that from the Major Pod group.
Look at Honky Talk Man hit me in the head with
that. See this?
What?
That's the table. That's the table piece from WLC.
From WLC?
Yeah, that I had everyone sign. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had everyone sign.
We all signed it, right?
Yep. I had everyone sign it from that night. Yeah.
Yeah. But
what do you got going?
Man, I don't have shit going on, man.
Pro wrestling tees. You have pro wrestling tees.
Pro Wrestling Tees. I've got some shirts out on that. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's all I have with Heath, XXII, Roman numerals. And yeah, man, I'm just living life, having fun, and being a badass dad.
Thank you. That again is two things. Is something that the two of us also have in such common, where we just like being parents, and it makes it so much like fun. It's the greatest. And Bryan too. Seeing Bryan now complete girl dad and just melts when they're around. Yeah, it's the best.
Yes. Sure, I'll see pictures we all post some good pictures, but just the genuine whenever his girl's hugging, but his eyes are closed and you can see him soaking it up. I'm like, bro, that's what it's all about, man.
It. All right, man. Well, thank you.
Guys, let's talk about Mad Cat Beard Care. They make my beard feel soft, silky smooth, and they can do the same for yours. A one-man show since 2019, Mad Cat uses a portion of their sales to care for local stray cats. That money covers their medical bills and finds them safe spaces and forever homes. Their products are made to order with vitamins and all-natural oils that promote strong, healthy hair and moisturize your skin as well. They've got exclusive scents for myself, as well as other wrestlers like my good pal Brian Myers, Mr. Kennedy, and Ring of Honor legend Delirious. Make sure to check out all of their scents, along with my Swoggled scent, which has notes of lavender and sage. I absolutely love this scent. And guys, we've got an exclusive offer for listeners of Going Postl. Use promo code SWOGGLED to save yourself 15% on your orders only at madcatbeardcare.com. That is Swoggled with a D on the end to save yourself 15% on your orders at madcatbeardcare.com. Guys, that's 15% with promo code SWOGGLed. And remember, the Mad Cat makes a happy beard. There it is. Heath, thank you. Thanks again. I know I've thanked you in the past. I know I thank you a lot for doing this show and sitting down to have a small talk with me. It's a lot of fun. I got to catch up about our run with Titus. Got to catch up about NXT stuff, the Nexus, and just fun things that we've lived through together. Him being my last match in WWE, our stuff in the Royal Rumble. Man, it's good to go down memory lane again. Yeah, and thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. WrestlingCollectorShop.com. Promo code SWOGGLE. Save yourself 10% site-wide. You can watch the video version of this very podcast for absolutely free at youtube.com/Dylan Postl, along with video diaries, unboxings, and much more at Dylan Postl on all forms of social media. Twitter, X, Instagram, everywhere. ProWrestlingTees.com/Swoggle, where you can get all of my t-shirts, whether it's wrestling endeavors, podcast endeavors, or just funny things I think of. ProWrestlingTees.com/Dylan Postl, SwoggleAuction.com. We talked about it earlier. Going to be doing a huge WrestleMania Saturday stream over on Whatnot. Get yourself $10 free over on Whatnot, SwoggleAuction.com. Guys, thank you. Thank you very, very much. This is how you remind me. I don't know the rest of the lyrics to How You Remind Me, so that was all I have. Thanks.